sunny day. Many people outside enjoying the weather. Neighbors washing their cars. Some people riding their bicycles. And they noticed one moment, they said a young lady come out. She's partially unclothed and she appeared to be starved. And they approach her and they want to know what's wrong with her. And she tells them that she has been abused by her mother. So they call the police and the police come out and they realize that inside the house was another child and she's dead. What I want to talk about is abuse, what's happening here in the United States. There is over 3.3 million reports each year in the United States that are going out showing that how kids are being abused. We're going to talk about today different types of abuse and how to report them. We have emotional abuse, and I'm showing here for emotional, it will be the psychological, which is 8.1% of kids who are abused, and that includes anywhere from saying bad things to them, destroying their confidence, and just breaking a child down. The next form of abuse is physical abuse, and that's pretty large. That's 17.6% of children who are physically abused. And those kids tend to be abused by their parent or their caregiver or adopted parent or anyone of authority like a teacher or someone you may go to school with. And those kids tend to be beaten. That could come from pulling their hair, smacking them, kicking them, punching them, stabbing, spitting, beating. Anything what you're doing with your hands is considered physical. And once again, they make all of that as a physical attacks on the children. The next form of abuse is going to be sexual, which is 9.2%, and that's pretty high number for children being attacked by adults, and that's once again by their own biological parent or by another adult in the house. And sexual abuse is anything from touching a child with your private part, showing them your private part, or having them to touch your private part, or having the child touch your private area, as well as touch vaginal or anus penetration. So they most definitely don't go for that, and we have to report it. If you see it or if you hear about it, you report it. The next form of abuse will be neglect, and you see this is the highest. And neglect is pretty much not taking care of your child's basic needs, and the basic needs are food and shelter. You could pretty much not offer this to, and a lot of parents, as you can see, don't offer this to their children. They tend to just forget about them or go about doing what they want to do. And this is a very, very high percent of kids who suffer. And that's also dealing with their education. If a child is in need of special education, if they're suffering mentally, a parent's supposed to get them help. If they're suffering medically, they're supposed to get them help. And if they don't, it's considered neglect. Now, the numbers here, they're very high. According to the Department of Health and Human Services, they have shown how many people are committing these type of crimes. So we want to now go into how to report these type of crimes. Because it's 2.9 million reported each year, a lot of these are coming from healthcare workers, they're coming from police officers, and these are professional people. And that's the healthcare workers, the police officers, teachers, anyone who's dealing with the kids, as well as doctors and nurses. And they're the first ones to see it. They have to report what they see. If you have ever gone to school and you pretty much had a smack or a mark on you, the teachers are, regardless, they have to tell authorities that they have seen this on you, and they report it, and then the parent is called in, or whoever the child is with. The next one is people like ourselves. It will be everyday people. When we go out, we're encouraged to report these things if we see it, we're supposed to say if we saw someone next door actually being abused, and there's no consequences for telling. If you see that little Johnny has been beaten, you can call the police without any consequences, civilly and criminally. You cannot be charged, even if it was wrong, but you can tell without being in trouble. So we want to talk about, once again, just summarizing all of this up, how do we go about identifying the problem? We have learned so far what these cases are. What is a sexual abuse? We know not to penetrate, not to touch, not to show pornography, not to touch a little girl's vaginal area or young man's anal area, anus area. So we go from that to also the psychological, that we cannot do these type of things to children. So we want to go and get help to make sure these kids are doing the right thing. And the next thing I want to talk about too, like if a child is abused, the first thing you want to do is allow the child to talk to you. Just be very gentle and kind towards the child. Explain to them that they are not guilty for what has happened to them, because a lot of times the child feels as though they're at fault because someone has had done these things, whether it's beaten or whatever, they feel like they're at fault. But you want to congratulate the child for being able to be brave enough to talk about these tragedies, because there's, once again, there's a lot of children. There's 2.9 cases reported in 2003. So I want to encourage everyone to report if you see it, report it, and let someone know what has happened.